What's up, family? So, the question I'm going to attempt to answer today is what is better for your EDC, your everyday carry? A external safety or no external safety? The answer is simple but not so simple. The quick and dirty answer is it's up to you. So, I'm going to give you a couple of pros and cons for each. And what it really boils down to is what you feel the most comfortable with. So I have here my first carry gun, which is a Glock 43 with a +3 mag extender on the bottom. +3 mag extender. And my wife's first carry, which is an M&P Shield. The Glock, as you know, Glocks don't have external safeties, with the exception, clear, with the exception of this little dongle right here, your trigger safety. Once this dongle is depressed, your trigger will be able to press. If that dongle is not flush with the trigger, you don't get a bang. Okay. Aside, and all the other safety features are internal to the slide. Okay. This, my wife's M&P Shield, again, we'll show clear. She has an external safety which is located right here. Okay, if that safety is pressed up like so, you get no trigger press. Okay, now pros and cons. With my Glock, should I find myself in a self-defense situation where I need to deploy quickly, the moment I draw and get on target, again, show clear. Once I draw and get on target, I'm good to go. No extras, no extra things to do. I'm just good to go should the unthinkable happen. With the M&P Shield, of course, we'll be carrying with the safety engaged, right? So if I find myself in a self-defense situation, I would have to draw, sweep my thumb down to disengage the safety, and then I can go in to fight mode. Okay, so what's the big difference in the two? Well, when you're stressed out, when you're afraid, when that adrenaline's pumping through your body, one of the big things that happens to you is the blood rushes from your extremities, your fingers in your hands and your feet, into the larger muscles, your biceps, your tris, your quads. So that allows you to run if need be, to fight harder if need be. If you injure your hands, you bleed less. Okay? But the drawback to that is no blood in your fingertips, no feeling in your fingertips. No feeling in your fingertips means less fine motor skills, which means having to draw my firearm and sweep that safety down to disengage it. That may or may not happen. I might miss, which means I'll have a firearm out on target and ready to rock and roll. Safety engage, I can't press the trigger. That might cost me time. With my Glock, it's just pull and go. Providing, of course, I have a round in the chamber. But that's a whole different discussion. In my opinion, for an everyday carry, the less things you have to do to deploy that firearm and get into the fight, the better. But I will say this: it's a comfort level. Some people feel better with an external safety. If you're one of those people, that's fine. But if you have an external safety, you must train with it. Every time you go to practice and train with this gun, get used to pulling your firearm and sweeping that thumb every single time. When you go back to your holster. See, I don't do this. It's not my gun. Safety up. So into the holster, safety on. Out of the holster, safety off. Make that a habit. Practice it constantly so it's second nature, so you don't have to think about it. Will that ensure that you don't miss the sweep when the chips are down and when you're stressed out and when your fingers are going numb? I don't know. But it will definitely reduce the chances of that happening. So I guess the answer is twofold. It's a comfort level. Whichever thing, if you feel comfortable, if you feel more comfy with a external safety, get external safety. If you feel confident in your firearm and your own skills, go with no external safety. But the bottom line is this. Ultimately, you are the safety. Whether it's the trigger safety or an external safety, you are the ultimate safety device. Okay? Which means you need to follow those 4 rules that have been drilled into our heads since we started this. Every gun is loaded. Don't point at anything not ready to destroy. Finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Know your target and what's beyond. Follow those 4 rules, and at that point, no external or external, it becomes less of a factor. Okay? So yeah. I prefer this. My wife prefers that. Comes down to what you like. Whichever you pick, train with it. Make it second nature. Hope that helps. I'll see y'all on the range.